Hi everyone! It has been 6 months since we moved to Dubai. Well, actually more like 7.5. This video was meant to be filmed and uploaded a few weeks ago, but I had a few health things and I couldn't film for a while. So it's a little bit late, but better late than never. But never late is better. So in this video, I will be sharing my thoughts on living in Dubai now that we've been here for over half a year. I don't feel like I've experienced enough of life in Dubai yet to be able to properly or fairly judge all aspects. So take this more as like an impressions video more than a full-on review. This is just my opinion from someone who is from Tokyo. So the first thing that really impressed me about Dubai and still impresses me today is how safe and clean it is here. I've never felt unsafe here, even as a woman, even at night. And the crime rate in Dubai is one of the lowest in the world. There seems to be a few reasons for this. Number one, there are strict laws and heavy punishments for committing a crime. Hefty fines, jail, even deportation. Number two, over 80% of the population are expats. So A, this means that over 80% of the population are people who don't want to risk their visas being taken away and being deported. And B, every resident has an Emirates ID and their biometrics recorded, which means that the government has everyone's fingerprints, facial scan, and information already. So it's easier for you to get caught. It doesn't mean that there's zero crime here. I'm sure there's petty things that we also just don't hear about, but in general, it is, I feel very safe here. We see people leaving their bags to reserve their tables, so it's kind of like Japan in a way. There are security guards in every building, and from my experience, they're quite strict about monitoring and just being diligent about guests and visitors. Also, there are women-only carriages on the metro, and there are also pink taxis, where if a taxi has a pink roof, that means it's a taxi driven by women and it's meant for women guests. So there are initiatives to make women feel comfortable and safe here as well. There are constantly people cleaning everywhere. You see people sweeping the stairs, cleaning the windows of skyscrapers and apartments. There's always cleaning staff in the toilets, at the malls, just so many people cleaning all the time. Yes, safety and cleanliness, generally speaking, are amazing. Another highlight for me here is the weather. The weather during the winter months is amazing. Sunny days make me so happy and thankful, although you need to be diligent about SPF. Having sun really positively affects my mood, and I know some people love having 4 distinct seasons, and Japan is a perfect example of somewhere that is like that, but for me, I don't like the cold. I've never liked it. I don't miss it. I don't need it. And I'd rather be hot than cold. So it's been amazing. From when we moved here last December until about the end of April, it's been such ideal weather for us. I was living, Mooch was living, we were enjoying our hot girl walks and just being out on the balcony every day. It has rained a few times, like legitimate rain and not the cloud seeding artificial rain that the government has to do sometimes because of the lack of rain, but it's rare. Now it is so hot. It's averaging highs around 40 to 42 degrees here, and it's pretty muggy and humid even at night. I think this highest so far has been 42, 43. Like, okay, yeah, you can't eat outside. The ocean is a bath, and you can't do outdoor activities, but like I'm still doing groceries, and we'll take Mooch on a walk at night. For me, it's not so unbearable that I can't be outside for more than a minute. So yeah, I am surviving with layers of SPF and my umbrella. A lot of expats apparently just leave and go on holiday during the summer months and come back when it's nice again, which we are planning to do next year. Moving on, one of the biggest differences I feel between Dubai and Japan is that people are just way more relaxed here. I feel like people are enjoying life. They're not always in a rush. It's not so go, go, go and fast-paced like Tokyo is. And that was one of the things that I noticed when I went back to Tokyo in May. Like whether you're on the train or just walking down a semi-crowded street, everyone seems so tired. They're always rushing, constantly people bumping into you and not even apologizing. I just felt an overall colder vibe. And it is the most dense city in the world, so I understand that there are things unique to Tokyo and just large cities in general, but I just feel like there's so much more yoyu. I don't know what the English word is. Like yoyu, what is the word? I'll look it up. In Dubai, like more emotional space in their hearts, abundance, I don't know. People are warmer and people seem happier. It's a very nice environment to be in, and you know how your environment influences your behavior and just how you feel. So it makes us feel a lot more relaxed. It makes me feel more in tune with this like abundance mindset. And I feel like I'm in a very up and coming spot. There's constantly new buildings, there's new offices, houses, stores being built, and the architecture, I mean, I'm sure you've seen, but it's just incredible. It's very unique. It almost feels not real. Also, besides the obviously touristy attractions, there are never any lines, which is amazing. Tokyo, there's a line for everything. Even on a random weekday at a really random time, there's always a line. It feels nice to not have to like strategically maneuver my way through the crowd because there are none. And well, okay, some places like the Carrefour at the Mall of Emirates is like pretty crazy, but in general, you know, it's a breeze. I don't have to be like dodging people left and right. Also, we found that things are a lot more flexible here, and there's a lot more room for negotiation for a lot of things. Japan is notorious for their inflexibility with the rules and like law and order and all that, with no actual logical explanation other than the fact that it's just always been protocol. It's a good and bad thing. Like the negative side of it is that customer service here is not good. Let me repeat it. Customer service here is not good. Restaurants and hotels, like service in regards to hospitality, are great actually. But I'm talking more about commercial services like mobile plans, admin things. Even the service desk at the mall can be like quite unhelpful. Half of it I think is a communication issue. I also think it's just that they're not as thorough in their help as I would like them to be, or as I'm used to. On the flip side, it's a lot easier to negotiate and have a discussion. For example, we didn't have a physical copy of one of the documents we needed to open a bank account, but we were in a rush and we had the digital version, and at first the bank dude was like, no. But then after talking to him for a little bit, he let us. I guess it depends on the person who's assisting you and also the way you look at it. But yeah, just very different from Japan. Another positive point about Dubai is the exposure to a lot of different cultures here. Close to 90% of Dubai's population of 3.5 million people are expats. And about 70% of these expats are from South Asia, mainly India and Pakistan, and there really aren't that many locals here. But it's just made me realize how much of a bubble Japan is, and I'm just learning about different cultures and religions and different holidays, different food, just things that I would never experience or learn about in Japan. There's been loads of culture shocks, and being a minority has definitely been a humbling experience. There's almost 4,000 Japanese people here, and I'll see a Japanese, like a probably Japanese person, like once a week maybe. I don't know, it's kind of an isolating feeling. It makes me really happy when I see a potentially Japanese person. But anyways, to wrap up this point, it's just been very eye-opening for me, coming from a very mono-ethnic country. Moving on to more negative things. I think the transportation situation is one of the biggest pain points that I have about Dubai. Dubai is very much a car-based society. So yes, there is a metro system, but there are only 2 metro lines and also the tram, but they're very minor. The tram especially is very minor. It's a short line that only runs in a very specific part of Dubai. The main metro line only runs in like a straight line on the edge of Dubai. So if you want to go more inland, then you definitely need to take a car or a taxi. Each metro station is pretty far apart and it's not walking distance. So, well, in general, like Dubai is really not pedestrian friendly, I find. A lot of the areas are still being developed and built, so there aren't proper sidewalks, and sometimes, like, honestly, it's like just sand. Being a city girl, it's been difficult for me to not have the freedom to just walk around and get to places on my own. Taxis are very cheap and affordable here, probably half the price of what it would be in Tokyo. So we do use Careem, which is like Uber, like Holo Taxi, which is like Uber, whenever we go places that aren't near the metro. But personally, I don't like taxis because the driving here is kind of wild, and I get car sick easily to begin with. So if I can avoid it, I will. Also, dogs aren't allowed on the metro or in taxis, so we've had to use a special pet taxi a few times, which just takes a bit more effort and planning since you have to reserve it beforehand. If you're used to the car life, then I guess it's no difference to you, but I wish they would develop the metro system a bit more, make it a bit more pedestrian friendly. The infrastructure just feels really inefficient to me. Like getting to places takes way longer than it should because there's only one main highway, and to get to the opposite side of that highway is like a whole whole trek. Okay, next. Cost of living is definitely higher here. Food, like groceries, kind of cancels out, but eating out is definitely more expensive. In Japan, you can get an amazing like 3 to 4 dish set lunch for like $10, but here it's at least twice as much, usually more. I actually just got back from breakfast with a friend, and that was 200 dirhams for the two of us. Things like products at stores, whether it's like skincare, clothes, shoes, whatever, they definitely cost more. And I guess one of the reasons is the no income tax situation, but even still, just, I don't know, everything felt so cheap to me in Japan. I am planning to do a more in-depth expenses video in the future, so I'll talk a little bit more about that. So, wrapping up, life in general in Dubai, overall, great. Love my new lifestyle. I am a stay-at-home wifey now. It's been amazing. We've done most of the touristy things, but there are still a lot of places that we haven't been to or done that's more local. So I think it's still too early for me to completely judge or make up my mind about things. I am still outside my comfort zone, and I think because I'm not working, I feel pretty disconnected from society, which has nothing to do with Dubai, it's just my own fault. There are a lot more things that I could be doing to feel more immersed here. In terms of friends, because I have such a close group of friends back in Tokyo, and these are childhood friends, by the way, I haven't really been actively trying to make new friends. On one hand, I'm like, yeah, it'd be so nice to have, you know, a good, nice group of friends here and have more people to hang out with. But on the other hand, there is also a very sort of closed part of me that's also like, you know, I'll never be as close to these new friends as I am to my friends back home, so what's the point? I don't know. Honestly, like, it can be quite lonely not having that many friends here, but at the same time, it's not a hole that new friends can fill. It's like when you miss a friend, it's not like making a new friend makes you miss that other friend less, right? So I don't know, it's kind of like that. But at the same time, I do really value my alone time, and even in Japan, sometimes I would just get this urge to just go somewhere for half the year, just go ghost mode and not see anyone for a few months. So I don't know, it's a conflicting feeling. Having so much more time to ourselves now, Car and I have definitely been reflecting a lot about our lives, just what kind of life we want, what our goals and dreams are for the next few years, and also long term. With all of the challenges that come with moving across the world, we do feel really fortunate to be in a position to be able to do this. Back in Japan, I kind of felt like I was living the same day, same week over and over. And I feel like moving here has really changed the trajectory of our lives. Like truly, 2022 was a life-changing year for us. I think it's just going to continue opening new doors for us. And of course, it is not always rainbows and sunshine. Well, it is always sunshine. This is the life that we built. We're on our own path, and we're, you know, thankful to be doing it together. Very cliche, but it's true. I am so deeply thankful, truly, for this life that I have, and I'm very happy from a general perspective. But I'd be lying if I said, you know, it's 100% stress-free. There is this one stress/anxiety feeling that just comes from, you know, moving halfway around the world, being away from friends and family, and just being in an unfamiliar place with a completely new lifestyle and way of living. As glamorous as, you know, moving to Dubai may seem, there's definitely challenges, and it's definitely not for everyone. It's just life, and it's definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone. It still continues to push me out of my comfort zone. So yeah, this video was kind of all over the place. I'm sorry, but that is generally how I am feeling in Dubai so far. Thank you so much everyone for watching and listening. I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more Dubai content soon. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and I'll try to get back to you. Bye everyone!